Speaking of Bob, actually, where do you think the one guy on top right now is Dion? Where do you guys stand?
Well, just take it day by day. You know, we don't have a set timeline on it. Looking forward to, again, him getting back, and he's in the return to play at PUP, and then hopefully he gets healthy and comes out there and competes.
Do you anticipate him at some point again being available, or is this one of those?
Not being evasive, probably I have a better, clearer picture probably about a week.
How'd you feel the first day went, Coach, and excited to get back out there?
Yeah, you're excited. You know, we're in the ramp-up period, so you're limited with the time, which is a good thing, and I'm not saying that complaining. I'm just kind of letting you know what's going on out there. So I thought it was a competitive first day as we're trying to build these guys up, you know, so we can be full swing into camp.
And then what are some of the early goals of how you are ramping up?
Obviously, like everything, you come out here, you want to improve, you want to obviously fundamentally get better. You want to eliminate things that get you beat pre-snap. And there's a healthy competition. We got good competition at just about every spot.
Comparatively speaking to where y'all were a couple months ago, for Marcus and Desmond, how much do you expect them to know at this point, even on day one of training camp?
We expect them to know what we're installing. Again, you know, we have different ways we go about it, but things we put in, that's their job as professionals, especially at that quarterback spot. They need to know it, and both of them doing a good job.
A lot of teams talk about like their identity, the team identity. Like, when do you start seeing that in here? When do you start building that?
I mean, you start building, you know, how you kind of players you bring in here. Mindset, I think, you know, as you work and you start to try to build confidence, and you hope we do need a better job being ready to go week one. And then as we get through this camp, we're going to be competitive, and we're going to be a team that's going to go out there and fight you. But we got to work, and we got to get better, and we got to eliminate things that can get you beat, especially pre-snap.
How do you enhance that on a day-to-day basis? You bring the guys in, but then how do you reinforce it on a day-to-day basis? That culture or ethos or whatever you want to call it. How do you do it?
Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. So what exactly are you asking?
I mean, is it a certain way you practice? Is it a certain way you? I mean, some people, you know, we pick up every piece of trash, we throw it in the trash can, we don't, you know, not whatever it may be.
It's the way we work, the habits, the messaging, and you let these guys have real competition. And so you come out here and you do drills and you try to set them up, and everything we do has got practical application to what helps you win and improve on the field as you improve individually and as a team. And so it's just something you emphasize every day, and you got to make it competitive, and then you got to reward those guys that compete and win.
What's the biggest difference between this team year two of this on day one?
I think it's a different place, it's a different team. I've said it many times, there's not the unknown. I mean, there's things that are going to happen every day. You got to be ready for it. But hey, you've been through a season. So just like a guy that's, I would imagine Kyle's camps, he's got a little better perspective going in this camp too.
Circumstances last year that there was injuries, guys who weren't here, just no personnel. What then what you would have liked to have done this?
I mean, those are the obstacles that came our way, right? And so you gotta assess it, and you gotta find a way through it. It's just a different team. I mean, things came up last year, something in our control, something that was out of our control. But that happens all around the league. Where guys retire, injuries, whatever it is. We'll deal with any obstacles in the way we won't make excuses. But it's a completely different team. I do feel like there's better competition, probably more depth. That's one thing that's pretty apparent to me right now.
More depth, and also some of the guys that are coming back, how much do they sort of benefit from this?
Yeah, I've been here. They know how we coach, know what we emphasize. Hopefully, it would help them accelerate their improvement as well.
I'm sure you self-evaluate that's what you look at, you play calling, whatever.
I don't know the narrative you're trying to wind down, but no matter if we were to have a 600-yard game and you win big or you lose, I evaluate it all the time, and I won't stop doing it.
Hey Arthur, what's your philosophy on managing the heat? Today was a great day in terms of weather-wise, but you talk about the ramp up. Is there a process for the players to even acclimate to getting ready to work?
Obviously, the weather can change here pretty quick. That's been my experience living in Georgia, especially here. Some days are more humid than others. Seems rain can come in quick. We try to make sure that, just like every team I've been a part of, but it's certainly different from the Junction Boy era of Gillette, but we have hydration stations. I mean, it's pretty standard operating procedure from most colleges and NFL teams.
But in terms of the players working under those conditions, is there a change for them as they come and go through training camps?
Especially as you lengthen practice, your conscience is when you give breaks. We try to best prepare, and then sometimes you have to adjust. I mean, you get lucky, and some days it's get a little cloud cover, it's cooler.
Going back to what Tori was talking about earlier a little bit, the quarterbacks, what exactly do you want to see from them during this ramp-up period?
Well, when we're still out of practice, it's just that you just don't get the amount of. We're going to increase reps every day. So as you script it out and you plan out the practices, you hope they have a better handle in the command of the huddle and operating, and really just doing their bottom line job description. And the quarterback, complete the football, can you run the huddle, can you get us into the right checks. So you're evaluating all that stuff every snap.
I just have a question about the mushrooms versus some of the guys where like tight ends over the defensive line. Like the actual padding, is that, it seems like they do, I know it's probably very much with that. What is that?
That's the Guardian Cap. That's a league initiative with health and safety. And so that's something that I believe the Health and Safety Committee, great question for Rich McKay, and last the league, but those are what you'll see it all around the NFL. It is.
Is that for each player, or is that
It's mandatory for certain positions.
All camp or?
It's through preseason 2, and then encouraged from there. Again, it's been a long time, Mike, since I played. I ask these guys, how it is. I mean, it's a mandatory thing. It's an effort to try to improve the health and safety of the game, and so I'll have a better feel for that as we get through a couple practices, and I'll continue to ask them. But at the end of the day, it's a league initiative in health and safety, and everybody's has the same rules.
How did Keith Smith or Taylor look? A couple guys who were waiting to get back.
Yeah, I thought, like I said, I told you guys in the spring, and we got almost all of our guys out here. We got one player on PUP, and we'll evaluate them every day. All those guys, Isaiah, Tabor, and all these guys are coming off something. So I thought that for day one, snap judgment, I thought they looked pretty good.
It's not like you have a lot to go off of, obviously, after day one, but what in your mind is a successful day one?
Well, it's getting out here. You don't have a lot of mental errors. You can operate. You can function. There's always something. I mean, that's why you practice. It's never going to be perfect, but you're trying to eliminate things that get you beat, that you're in control of. And especially a huge emphasis on some of the stuff pre-snap. Some of it's obvious when you're watching practice. Some of it's not obvious. Like I said, the communication. So I thought overall, it was a pretty good day. But there's always stuff we got to coach and improve.
Without reviewing film or anything, do you feel like some of these younger guys are there? They're not making a ton of mental errors?
I'm not going to give a statement on the younger guys right now. It was their very first NFL practice. So I'll withhold judgment.
I'm going to ask you about something regarding that. How much do you look for retention from what you guys did in the previous?
Yeah, mentally,
Certainly.
certainly.
Watch for that today.
And there'll be more, when you get through the film and as you get through another installation mentally. I thought the retention part was pretty good mentally. It's just, there's so many variables, these young guys. I mean, the nerves, the adrenaline's going before you ever take a snap. So I'll just withhold judgment on someone. But I thought the retention was pretty good.
You're sticking to 2 quarterbacks like you did during the offseason program. Do you envision that changing at all? Is it still because you're trying to get done the most reps?
Yeah, I mean, we'll still give Felipe some reps at certain points. But, when you get limited number of reps, we're trying to make sure Marcus and Dez get as many as they can. But there's certainly, just like you would, whether it's Felipe or somebody else, you had as a third quarterback and an emergency quarterback, you got to have a contingency plan. But at some point, certain days, you'll see Felipe do a little bit of quarterback stuff.
Have you seen Mariota and Cal Pitts as their chemistry and relationship development?
One that they're working on, the chemistry, right? They've only been around each other for a short time, but you see it kind of building, and hopefully it continues to progress.
anything else?
Yeah. Also, Matthews, they're pretty much open competition.
that's a very fair statement. And, you know, the expectation is when you pick up Chris's option and you pay Jake, that those guys need to start. Now, if they didn't perform, then we got to look at our decision making, and it doesn't mean they're set in stone, but the expectation is those two for sure should be started for us. The rest of them up for grabs.
Which center do you almost rotate Don?
We're gonna make it fair. We're gonna evaluate it, and it'll be a fair competition as best it can be. We got to make sure we're intentional about the rep counts we give them, when we give them, you know, the reps with the first group and second group. It's got to be a fair competition.
How important is it to identify those 5 units quickly so that they have more time to get it?
Yeah, I mean, I think you would hope you could get it sooner than later, but I mean, I'm not going to force it. If the guys are neck and neck, you got to let it play out. But certainly, you like to have that chemistry. But just like it happens in the season, right? You kind of have to deal with different injuries, and if there's certain guys that are flex guys that have to go play guard and swing back out tackle, fine. But yeah, but I'm not going to put a timeline.
You signed John Harrison, center as well. How does he factor into that?
You can evaluate it. Guys played, the guy that's pulled the ball in the NFL, and I think at camp it's really valuable when you got guys that can give you that guard center flex, and he's done it in real games. So we'll have every opportunity as well to compete for a job here.
Anything else?
What you got?
Much has been made about the quarterback competition. Just talking about the O-line. Talks about the running game and the overall impact that will have on the quarterback competition. Establishing and having a running game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors to improve the run game, and we feel like there'll be a healthy competition there too. As it goes on and through the preseason, we got to make sure we give those guys enough carries to evaluate them.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
I didn't know you.